social media motivator, Trey Hubbard. Thanks for coming on, Trey.
Thank you guys for having me. How we doing?
Trey, what's up?
What's going on?
Just doing the best we can as everybody tries to do, right?
There you go.
Living the dream.
So let's start
Living.
you off with this. You're a former D1 athlete at 300 pounds, high performer who lost his way. So can you take us back to that specific moment of rock bottom and explain what was different about your mindset this time that allowed you to commit such a radical rebuild?
Man, first things first, man. Like, it started when COVID happened, right? I was playing college ball. I had transferred 4 times. I'm someone who, yeah, I transferred 4 times, man. I was someone who, I ran from adversity. Like, every time something got tough or got hard, like, I just found the way out, right? And I got to a point where, I was like, man, like, at some point I have to stop quitting. I have to stop quitting and I have to just face those things before they come and face me, right? So, COVID hit. I got sent home to my parents' house. There was no structure anymore. There was no meals, there was no classes, nobody like planning my day. It was now up to me, to kind of be an adult, and take things into my own hands. So it was the years 2019, December 21st. My quarterback from college, he was stabbed to death in a bar fight. And I got a call and I was like, man, like, I'm not really, that's when I kind of realized I wasn't living right. That I wasn't taking advantage of everything I was supposed to be doing at this young age. And so a couple months later, COVID hit, got sent home, and I was just at home. Like, I was just online school, like, not working out, no coaches there. They'd sent us a plan, but I didn't do it. And I was just eating, right? And I always had like an eating problem, like a eating disorder, I'd say. And I was able to get away with it because of working out, football 6 days a week. Like, I was
Right.
able to just eat whatever I wanted and get away.
You were
And so I
burning all
started,
those, you were burning it up.
Mhm.
yeah, I was burning it up, right? And so I used to walk around at 230 at 5'11", which is whatever you want to make that of, right? Use your
Yeah.
imagination. Um, Not supposed to be that weight,
No.
right? So next thing you know, I look up, I'm 260, and I was like, all right, at some point I'll get right. Like,
At
I'll be
5'11.
good. Yeah, yeah.
5'11,
I,
260.
I'm 260, and I'm like, I see it though, but I start flipping the scales over in all the houses, like taking them out. Every time I'd see a mirror, I'd look away. Like, it would
Oh,
just, I was avoiding it. I was like, I'm good.
wow.
Next thing you know, I'm 290, and now I'm like, okay, like, now this is a problem. But it didn't really hit me until I went to this all you can eat sushi spot with my guy from back home, and we sat there from like we walked in at noon, and we said, all right, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna see who can eat the most amount of sushi, and whoever loses owes the other person $100. And I was like, well, I'm not losing. I'll sit
Mama.
here all day.
Yeah.
And sure enough, we sat from 12 o'clock to like till they closed at 9. And I
Oh
downed
my
94 pieces of sushi to his 95, right?
No way.
damn.
And I sat there like all day, like literally all day. And so I was like, I have a problem. Like, my shirts weren't fitting anymore. I had to go shopping and I had to go buy this 2XL hoodie, which is the only 2XL thing that I ever had. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna step on the scale tomorrow. I haven't stepped on the scale in a couple months. I'm gonna just see. And that's when I was like 302. I was like 301, 302, and I was like, I just touched 300 pounds.
Wow.
That's when I was like, okay, like, I called my high school coach. I had nowhere to work out. I didn't know really how to work out. Like, all of my workouts were, hey, do these power cleans for four sets, 10 reps by a coach. Not, I never like knew how to like work out. So I walked into this random like commercial gym, Planet Fitness or something like that. And I did like 2 workouts and I was like, I'm going home. Like, I don't have to be here, Like,
Mm.
Mhm.
and so that's when I hit rock bottom. And so I exhausted everything. All my contacts, and nobody was messaging me back. But Tony Thompson, man, train hard, Virginia Beach, Virginia. He was my high school coach. I called him, or trainer. I called him and I was like, listen, I don't have any money. I don't have anything for you. I'm 300 pounds. I need help. Like, I need you. And he was just like, all right, come in.
Wow.
And I came in, and that's where I met my now brother Jar Charles. He's on his way to the UFC. He's a fighter now, professional MMA fighter, and he was working out, and they were just going so hard. They were going hard, and I was just like, I can't keep up. Like, I'm
Yeah. You
my,
couldn't
my, my
breathe.
lower,
You
I
couldn't
can't
breathe.
breathe. My lower back hurts. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
No.
can't do this, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, I basically was making excuses, and they were like, "Listen, like, you
Yeah.
either get with the program or you get left by the program." And they would leave me on runs. I'd start walking, and I realized that like they didn't care how I felt. Like they
Mhm.
didn't care. You either had to get with it or get left. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get with it.
Yeah.
This is my last chance.
It was
And so
almost
I
like you
got
had it. It was almost like you had to start caring.
I literally had to
Yeah.
start caring because
Yeah.
I wanted somebody to come save me, and I thought somebody was coming to save me
Yeah.
because my parents, I got two loving parents. Every time I got in a situation, they would save me. Like
Get you out. Yeah.
I always had a way out. This time there
Yeah.
was no way out.
Yeah.
Like I
Wow.
had to go through it.
Mhm.
That's unreal. So like as part of your weight loss journey, you woke up at 2 a.m. and hit 10,000 steps before most people even wake up. So how much of that was about the physical weight loss and how much was about using physical suffering to reclaim your mental discipline?
Man, the biggest thing about that was learning to do things when I didn't want to. Like
Yeah.
when because I didn't like working out with a bunch of people, right? So everyone works out late. So I was like, well, I'm gonna get up early in the morning. I also worked security from 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. 4 days a week, and I didn't like working out afterwards,
No.
right?
Yeah.
So afterwards, right at 4 o'clock after work, and so
No.
I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
I adopted this mindset. It's called the swallow the frog theory, right? So every single day you must wake up and swallow the frog, right? And so you can either swallow the frog one time or you could swallow it twice, right? So if you swallow it twice, that means okay, you woke up this morning, you said, listen, I have to swallow this frog. If I wait until 4 p.m., that means I had swallowed the frog twice because the first time is me thinking about it, and the second time is me actually having to do it. Versus waking up at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock and just doing it and getting it out of the way for the day. So
Mhm.
that's the mindset that I started
Never
to
heard
rhyme.
that before. Wow.
That's what I adopted. So I just wake up and just even though like even now to this day I hate working out, but I
Yeah.
know that I have to
Have
swallow the
to.
frog.
And you get
Mhm.
into like a routine and then it just becomes part of your daily thing where it's just like I got to do this whether I like it or not. I've got to do it.
That's the
That's
thing. Yeah.
that's such a good mindset to have because
Mm.
that affects everybody. Like there's things that we all work a job and I'm sure there's
Yeah.
parts of our job that we don't want to do and there's things that in life that we don't want to do. We got to do them. You got to do them. And what are you going to do? How are you going to get up for that? How are you going to get yourself? How are you going to motivate yourself? And it's like you said, you got to motivate yourself. No one's going to be in your ear. No one's
Nope.
pushing you, especially if you have a good family structure, if you have people that are going to help you out. They're just gonna keep bailing you out, bailing you
Yeah.
out. But at some
Yeah.
point, you've got to look at the guy in the mirror and you be like, well, we got to do this, whether you like it or not. But I agree so much with what you're saying because I went through a similar thing with the gym regimen. Even Anthony could tell you
Mhm.
with his gym regimen because he was tipping the scale too, and he had to look himself in the mirror and he had to get to work, and he did. And Zinzi, you look great, man. I gotta
Oh,
say,
thank you, man. It's been a journey, and like it's not just the actual the physical activity part too. It's like it's the diet, it's the mental discipline. Like that, like when I see this 2 a.m. thing, you remind me of David Goggins a little bit in that kind of in that kind of mentality and this like the sheer savagery of the mental game that he has. And like
yeah.
he stretches for 2 hours and then he goes to bed. It's like he
That's
stretches for
crazy,
2 hours,
man.
goes to bed at 3.
No, I
Like,
had,
like
I was like you too in the sense that I didn't want to work out after work. Like I'd go in
Mhm.
the morning,
no.
and the other thing is like, oh, I'd make all these excuses. Oh, I've got to go really early. If I can't go really early, then I'm not gonna go at all. And then I started hanging out with this guy that would go to the gym at like 4 a.m. And I'm like, how do you do that, man? Like, how do you get up? He's like, I just get up. I set my alarm and get up. It's like, yeah, but sometimes it's really cold outside. He's like, put on a jacket. I was like, yeah, but in the morning I can't figure out what to wear. He's like, I lay my clothes out before. There's no thinking. I get up, I put on my clothes, and I go. I don't brush my hair. I don't brush my teeth. I just put on my clothes and go. And I take care of all the other stuff when I get. I don't eat anything. I don't drink anything. I get my hour and 30 minutes in, and then I'm ready for the day. And I was like, I can't do it. It's like, no, there's no such word as you can't. You may not want to do it, but you
Yeah.
can do it. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. That's a big thing. There's some days I feel like that too, but I kind of make this like I made this pack in my head, right? Where, I always lay my clothes out as well. Every single night I lay it out. So there's no if you can eliminate the thinking aspect out of everything to where you just
Right.
don't have to think with meal prepping, you don't have to think about what you're gonna eat when you get home. It's already made.
Right.
Going to the gym, having a plan, you already have a plan. You don't have to think about what you're doing.
Mhm.
What am I
Yeah.
gonna wear? No, there's no excuse now because everything is step by step. Now it's up to do you want to do it or not?
Right. It's the same thing. It's like even the workouts. Like already decided what workouts I'm going to do. This is what I'm doing Monday. This is what I'm doing Tuesday. There's no thinking about. And next thing you know, I blink my eyes and I'm not only did I get up, but I did the workout and I'm already like on stretching and getting ready to go. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't
yeah,
that bad. But you know,
yeah.
it's getting into it's getting mentally strong. But like you went from the D1 trenches to winning a Golden Gloves title with the fastest knockout in Houston history. So what did this sweet science teach you about personal accountability that football couldn't? And how did the transition help you shed your old identity?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like growing up, I didn't think I was capable of violence. Like I always been a bigger guy. I always been a big body, but like if you really got down to the weeds of things, I was afraid of the world. Like I was afraid of everything. So that was something that like I feel like I know now, like even like me coming out with my story, I know that a lot of men struggle with this. I know a lot of men struggle of being violent, but every man can be violent if they have to. Like you just have to, some people just have a line, right? And I didn't know where my line was for the longest time. And I'm gonna tell you right now, like there's nothing scarier than preparing for a fight, getting in the ring and turning around and realizing that your coaches aren't standing in the ring anymore. They're sitting down and it's just you and him, and that light above you just gets so bright and everything just like
Makes
time
your
skips.
heart start going.
What? Like
Yeah.
from the like honestly, like even preparing for the fight, like it's just it takes a toll on you. But like I'm willfully putting myself in this position because I need to know how I get down under pressure. So here I
Mm.
am in a situation where, you know, I'm in Houston Golden Gloves, and I'm gonna kind of bring you guys back to kind of set the story for you.
Mhm.
The guy or my brother Czar, right? He fights, and I had just I got my first knockout a couple years before my Golden Gloves history, but I stopped fighting because my first knockout was in 38 seconds of my first ever fight,
Wow.
right? And so I didn't mean to do it though, but I did it because my eyes were closed. I was just swinging and I knocked him out. So I was like, oh well, everyone thinks I'm Mike Tyson now, so I'm just gonna ride off in the
I'm
sunset
good.
and
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
good.
This is great. This is
Yeah,
how
yeah, it's
I'm
been
good.
great. I'm retired, right? So everyone, I'm just gonna leave while I'm up, right? So people kept convincing me that it was lucky, and I just let them have it for a while. But it bothered me, and they didn't know that it bothered me. So I was like, man, wow, I don't want to step in the ring again because like I don't know what would have happened if I didn't knock him out, right? So I was like, whatever. So then fast forward to 2024, the end of 2024. My fighter Czar, or brother Czar, he's a fighter, but we ended up going to church before his fight, and the pastor said, he said, listen, I want everyone. It was July 4th or July 24th, 2024. He said, I want everyone to close your eyes, and I want you to visualize, and I want you to think about the first thing that comes to your mind, right? And whatever that is, whatever you're running from, you have to go do that thing. And the first thing that I thought of was competing, was fighting again because I was running from it. And I was like, dang it. And I was like, I gotta do it. Like I gotta do it. Even if I gotta do it, but I gotta do it scared. It doesn't even matter. Just going if I go in there and get knocked back all the way to 1975, so do it. It's whatever at this point. I'm just gonna do it. So as soon as I got home from Sacramento, I flew back home and I was like, I'm doing it. So I walked into the gym and I was like, hey, I'm trying to fight. And they were like, okay. And I was like, whatever. So I ended up training, get to the Golden Gloves, right? So get to Golden Gloves, and the guy that I was fighting, he's 6'4". I'm only 5'11", and I didn't know this though, and I hadn't trained for somebody that was taller than me, so he was just looking down. I get to the ring, and I talk to my coach. I'm like, Coach, what's the game plan? Like, because everyone, like Mike Tyson says, everyone has a plan until they actually get punched. Like,
Mhm.
oh,
Right.
I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna dodge this, da 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 da. Okay, and then you get punched, and you're like, wait, what's going on? And you get punched again, and then you
Yeah.
just now you're getting beat up.
Yeah.
So my coach goes, he said, listen, as soon as the bell rings, I want you to go stab him to the stomach and then come over top with an overhand. And then do whatever you do after that. And I was like, okay, cool.
Okay.
Like I'm coachable. So as
Yeah.
soon as the bell rung, I
Yeah.
stabbed him and I came over top, bam, he was knocked out. And I was like, okay. I was like, okay, okay. I see what's going. Shout out Coach Ron, Coach Sam, man, Coach Santiago too. Round for round, Houston, Texas, man. And so I ended up knocking this dude out. So that was the semifinals. Then we get to the finals, right? The dude who I'm fighting in the finals, he had just dog walked the dude before me. And he was a tough guy, he was tough as nails, but I was like, okay, he just saw what I did. So I knew that I was in his head a little bit. So we get in there, first round of the championship. My coach was telling me, like, while we were drilling, hey, you're throwing the uppercut from too far out. Stop doing that. I was like, all right, I'm gonna stop doing that. I get in the ring, I throw the uppercut from too far out. This guy drops me, bam, first round. So now I blink and I'm falling backwards, and I'm like, I get up and I'm looking at him. He's like, get up, and I'm seeing him like 4 times. I'm like so dizzy, but I'm like,
Ooh.
my coach is like, take your 8 count, and I'm like, at that point, I was panicking. I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I feel like I just got beat up in a middle school parking lot. Like everyone's saying, "Oh, cameras are out." Like my ego is crushed. Like I feel so small in this big world, right? And I'm like, I came this far. I can't go like that.
Yeah.
I can't go like that. So we ended up boxing. I ended up dropping him in the third round for the championship.
Wow.
Recording the Golden Gloves champ of Houston, Texas. And man, I give it to God, man, because whenever I get nervous, I just let him know, hey, this is your problem now. Like you led me here, I did everything you said. This is your problem now. And so, that just kind of shaped me, man. Like now, everything I do, I know that like whatever happens, I take the pressure off every situation because whatever happens in the situation, it's supposed to happen,
Right.
good or
Right.
bad.
Right. This
No,
was the
totally.
this was your path. This was your path.
Exactly.
And it's a transition too, because as part of a football team, you're relying on 52 other guys, right? You're relying on your coaches. Like at the end of the day, like somebody, like if you miss a block, somebody's gonna come in and have your back. There is nobody to have your back in the boxing ring. It's you. And for you to step up and like take that and just kind of move through it, I mean that's admirable, man.
That's
Like most
unbelievable.
unbelievable. Most people would just take their lumps and just be
And
done with
you
it.
walk home. Go home. You
100%.
got
Yeah.
back up and went toe to toe.
You got to. And like Z said, like that's another important point. Like there's 10 other guys on the field. So I can stay up the night before, party and wake up and drag all into to walkthroughs for the football game. But you can stay up and party and show up to a boxing match if you want to, right? You can, but the other guy's been training. Whenever you don't want to go that extra round or throw that extra punch or do that
Mhm.
extra round of jump rope, you think about, man, my opponent probably just did it. Now I got to do 2 more. So
Right.
now he probably just did 2 more. Now I got to do 3 more, right? So it's just
Mhm.
you just have to like it's just you in there, and that's like the scariest part. But at the same time, it really you really figure out who you are, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, especially in Golden Gloves, he's either working just as hard as you are or harder. There's no doubt about that.
Exactly, exactly, exactly.
Yeah. And a lot of athletes struggle when the cheering stops and the uniform is put away. But how did you navigate that identity crisis of who am I without football? And what advice do you have for any
Yeah.
athlete that's currently lost in that transition?
I think there are so many people that, like you said, they get on a schedule, they have a regimen, and then all of a sudden they might get hurt or
Yeah.
they might get cut. And it's like, oh man, football has been my whole life. And this is what I thought I was going to be. Who am I without football? How am I supposed to get by? And you lose that competitive edge, and it's just like, and you're kind of feeling like lost.
Well, you just age out, man. Like it's a young man's game. It's not forever, and
Right.
nobody's guaranteed forever.
Yeah, but I mean, it
So
happens at all levels. It happens in high school. It happens in college. At some point, you're told that you can't play this game anymore.
No, that is true. That is true. And the biggest thing for me is I had to stop chasing the jersey. Like I went to Virginia Tech and I walked on there and it was all for clout. Like it was all for just social media. Like I wanted just to say that I played there, and I played with like amongst of like a lot of great players that are in the league now. And I left there in 2016. They're still playing 7, 8, 9, 10 years in the league now, right? First round draft picks, and just being around that greatness kind of shows you like what it looks like, right? And so then you start to understand like, okay, like I transferred 4 times. I was chasing the jersey. I was chasing identity. I wanted to have that dopamine back. But then I realized that nobody cared when I took the jersey off. So then you have to find a way to show up for yourself and do things for yourself, because when you stop playing, there's no reason for us to even have a connection, because you're not going to the NFL, which that's what you were known for. That's so we thought, and so my advice to people, or to any athlete that's trying to that's trying to find their identity is, you know put yourself first. Understand there's nobody coming to save you. You can feel bad, throw a pity party, and do whatever you want to do, but at the end of the day, you gotta look in you gotta look the person in the mirror and reconcile with them. At the end of the day, and time waits for nobody. So find something that you can still compete in. Whether it's boxing or badminton or pickleball or whatever it is. Find a way that you can transfer those competitive skills and/or nature and apply them, right? And that will still it'll still feed you. Like it'll still do what playing sports did for me.
Right.
But
Just
for
have
you,
fun. It's a game,
yeah,
right? It's a game. At the end of the day, it's a game. And whether you're picking up another game or you're finding, success somewhere else, maybe it's, in the classroom or maybe it's in business or maybe it's something else. You can be competitive anywhere, but, like you said, you got to find yourself. There's more to your life than just football or just baseball or whatever sport it is that you're playing.
exactly.
And I think that's where your faith comes in, because you're very open about finding your faith again during this sprint in a world that often leans on that hustle culture, the clout chasing, like you mentioned, self reliance, just like, you know, uh, I mean, you were pre NIL, but a lot of what you're saying resonates now in the current NIL culture in college sports. People just transferring year after year after year. So, what role did surrendering to that higher power play in your ability to sustain that 2 a.m. grind when your body and your mind wanted to quit?
Man, because listen, like I had to realize that everything that's going on in my life, it's not me. Like none of this is me. Like I couldn't have done this myself. And I give it all to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ because He's the one who wakes me up every single morning and allows and guides my steps every single day. And so you can rely on the worldly things and do everything for cloud and do everything for social media. But at the end of the day, like you're not gonna be fulfilled. I used to do things just to post it on social media, and as soon as I closed the app, I would not be fulfilled. But every time that I prayed, every time that I was nervous or scared or I had a sickness or I was about to go into a boxing match and I prayed, all those feelings went away and I was fulfilled. I was at peace. And that's when I realized that like, what am I trying to impress the man for? Because at the end of the day, like nobody really cares about you. If you really, really sit back and think and you stop being the glue to a situation or a relationship, nobody's really looking for you. But you know who is, you know who's always looking for you, you know who's always knocking? Jesus Christ. And that's what's kind of like veered me away, man. I learned to start being more private and to just start letting him work and do things for me and let it happen how he wants to happen. I had to get out of my own way
Right.
because I was doing things my way, and that led me to transferring 4 times. But somehow, some way, he's found a way to pay for my school every time. I've transferred 4 times before. When I was in college, there wasn't transfer from Virginia Tech to Alabama. When I was in college, you had to transfer down or you had to
Right.
sit out a year. There was no lateral or going
Right.
up. So I'm transferring from Virginia Tech to FBS to VMI, which is FCS, to JUCO, getting kicked out of a JUCO to my a D2 coach that was calling me in high school that I blocked him on everything because he was annoying me. This dude gets a job at a Division 1 school called Wagner as a defensive coordinator. He calls me. He says, "Hey, our linebacker, mind you, I had just tore my Achilles at JUCO, so I had no scholarships coming out. First game, I was doing things my way, and I always felt like I was being punished. So this coach, shout out Del Smith, he calls me. He's like, "Hey, we just had a linebacker get kicked out for stealing. We need a guy right now, full ride scholarship." And I'm like, I haven't played in 2 years. I've transferred 4 times, and this dude call. I haven't talked to this dude in 5 years, and why is he calling me? And I'm like, if I for 1 second think this is my doing, I'm delusional.
Right.
There's no way this is me.
No
And
way.
so God always made a way every time, man. Every single time. I've never. We all have a 100% survival rate of all bad days, no matter what. And I wholeheartedly believe that.
It's part of your journey.
Bingo.
100%. And a lot of that journey is the struggle to figure that out. Like a lot of people don't realize it. Like, I'm a teacher by trade, and
Mhm.
it's like we were just having this conversation in a professional development. Like the kids don't understand that the failure is part of the process. You need to fail. Like you need to fall flat on your face and pick yourself up. You need to like not say, "Oh, the teacher sucks." Like I didn't study. You need to be accountable.
The
And
accountability.
these are the things that you learn, and these are the things that can, these are the things that can be illuminated for you in that moment of clarity when you finally surrender yourself over. Because at the end of the day, you have to do that.
Yeah, and
It's not
you gotta look inward and think about what like you could do better. Like what could I have done better? How could I have, been better, escape this in my own way,
100%, and it's easy to just blame everybody. That's the easy way out. 100%. But
Agreed.
we'll get you out here on this one, Trey. With your men's health feature on the horizon and a growing social media presence, you're moving from the work to the message. So when you look at the person you were, what is the one thing you want the person currently in that position to understand about the purpose that can be found through their pain?
Use it as motivation. Don't let what has happened to you. Everyone is addicted to. Everyone like has a sad story. Everyone has a sad story. Everyone does, right? Everyone's addicted to that story. Every time someone asks them who they are or whatever, they always want to talk about the bad things that happened in life. Yeah, I grew up homeless, or I was this or that or this or that, and I get it. I'm not trying to desensitize. I'll be insensitive to the situation or to someone else's situation, but understand that that doesn't define you. What you've been through doesn't completely define you, and you wake up every single day with a chance and a choice, right, to change that story going forward. Where do we go from here? And the moment you stop being a prisoner to your own mindset and you can say, listen, look, what's happened has happened, right? But what's going to happen, I'm going to do everything in my power to put myself in position to make it happen. Now, obviously, it's up to God to have the final say, but I'm going to do everything that I can down here, whether it's showing up to the gym, working out, eating right, being a nice person, like being respectful, as long as you can do everything in your power, to do what you can do, everything will work out. Like everything, it always works out. It has never not worked out. If you get denied from a college, and let's say you really wanted to go to Alabama and they didn't let you in, and then you go to LSU, you end up having the best time ever because you're like, dang, I didn't even want to come here. It's
Right.
always the things that you don't want to do, you always have the best time. So just be open, be open and just allow yourself to learn. And if you fall, just fall forward. God's got you every time. And that's my biggest thing.
100%, man. And it's one of those things that you need to like you need to get out of your own way and let the work happen. The purpose comes from there. But former D1 football player, Golden Gloves champion, cybersecurity specialist, and social media motivator, Trey Hubbard, thank you for coming on the In Route, brother. And if you want to be the newest member of the In Crowd, hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com, slide in our DMs on IG at Fade Route Podcast, or drop us a line on X at Fade Route DNZ. Where can our listeners find you, Trey? And when does the men's health feature drop so we know when to get it?
You can find me on Instagram at Trey_Hubbard, and the men's health feature. Man, I've been hitting them up. I've been tapping them on the shoulder, seeing where they're gonna drop it. But I say within the next week or so,
Nice.
week or two. So
That's
don't hold my
Nice.
feet to the fire.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Nice. Keep an eye out, everybody.
Yeah, let us know. Make
Keep
sure
an
you let
eye
us
out.
know.
got you.
Nice.
All right, that was
There you
great,
go.
Trey.
That's
Trey,
great,
really,
man.
y'all.
really great story, man. Like, keep putting it out there because there are people that need that message. I think you know that.
Yeah, I appreciate that a lot, man. Seriously, for y'all even having me, like I seen you guys on what is it called, Proudly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably. So I saw you guys and I was like, okay, like they had you under health and fitness. I was like, okay, I'm gonna reach out to them. And I didn't think
Yeah.
anyone was ever gonna get back, and you guys did. And I was like,
Yeah. No, I
shout out,
mean
yeah.
these. Like I said, we know people that need this message. They need to hear it, and it's a great story because it doesn't always go that way, man. Like
Yeah,
the transformation you had and the things you've accomplished. It's like, and you're just scratching the surface. You're just getting started, my man.
appreciate
And it's
y'all,
just, I'm
man.
glad we're a part of this beginning. And if you ever want to come back on the show, hit us up. Anything you
man,
got going on, or
absolutely.
any word message you want to get out, we can talk about anything. We'd happy to have you.
I appreciate that. You guys, whenever you get those clips, I'm gonna post them all and
Great, man.
collaborate. And I appreciate you guys for real.
Of
Yeah.
course, man. Absolutely. We appreciate you. Like you
Yeah.
found
Bro.
us, man. But thank you
Yeah.
for that. We appreciate that.
Likewise.
Take care, and like I said, let us know when you get that article out, and we'll post on our socials.
I got you, man. Y'all have a good night.
All right, later,
You
man.
too, man. Later.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye. And that was Trey Hubbard, everybody. Fantastic dude. Keep an eye out for that Men's Health, and the full interview will get cut and put together tomorrow. All right. So you want to just jump right into it? Let's just jump right into it. What do you think?
We'll just jump right into
Let's
it.
go. Why not? Why not?
Coming at you live from the AO studio.
Hey, you.
It's the Fade Route with D and Z IMD, and we've got a bunch of things to talk to you about tonight.
Let's go.
It's wild card weekend was wild, and the national championship is finally got down to 2 teams.
Jesus.
Oh man. And Trey Young gets traded to the Washington Wizards. But we'll begin today's show with the weekend that was in the NFL and the biggest upsets, if you can call them that. The 6 seeds, Buffalo and San Francisco, knocked off the 3 seeds, Jacksonville and Philly, respectively, on Sunday. Meanwhile, the Rams and Bears survived their matchup against Carolina and Green Bay. The Sunday night special saw the Patriots manhandle the Chargers, and the Texans took down Aaron Rodgers, Mike Tomlin, and the Steelers on the Monday night fight. What was the biggest surprise to you of Super Wild Card Weekend?
The Texans beat the Steelers so bad that Mike Tomlin resigned.
Yeah, I can't do this.
No mas. He pulled a Roberto Duran. No mas. No mas. I got to say, San Francisco beating Philly, Philly neutralizing Christian McCaffrey up until the end, and Brock Purdy beating them with the pass. Like that, to me, that's amazing because you saw the blueprint to beat Philly. DeAndre Swift pounding the rock, right? We saw Philly have difficulty containing the run. And that was a concerted effort on their part to make sure that Christian McCaffrey did not get off. Now, we know Ricky Pearsall's hurt. We know that Ayuk isn't there. George Kittle, he's done. George Kittle's done. You know, he got carted off, and then a bottle of tequila was brought into the locker room. So he was partying. He was good. But that was a little painkiller for him. But you figure all of this, right? They're dead in the water. There's absolutely no Fred Warner, no Nick Bosa. Like at some point, it's just like, yeah, no, like there's no way. There's absolutely no way. But for those of you that still don't believe in Brock Purdy, you might want to start believing in Brock Purdy a little bit. I'm just saying, like he led that team to victory over a team that was healthy, that was whole. Yes, they have their problems, and we're going to get to more of their problems in a second, but Philly was poised to get the job done. But San Francisco put on their big boy pants, and they overcame those obstacles. As far as other games that were really surprising, I was surprised at how little of a fight the Steelers offense put up. I mean, I was told, and maybe you were told this too, you were told that Justin Fields was the problem. You were told that Russell Wilson was the problem. We got 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be great. We got this guy. He's a gunslinger. He's exactly what we need. DK Metcalf is back from his suspension. No fight. Absolutely nada coming out of Pittsburgh. And it's back to the drawing board again, right? They've been trying to replace Ben Roethlisberger for years, and now they have to turn around and replace a guy who has not had a losing season in 19 years. But Buffalo, we said there was a pathway. It was an unlikely one, but it was possible. Carolina, adios, muchacho. Like, you 8-9, go enjoy Cancun.
Oh, that was tough.
That was tough.
They had it.
I feel, I'm nervous.
Basically, it was if you think about it, Z, it was just like last year
Uh-huh.
when Philly was playing the Rams.
Yeah.
Remember? And they
Yes.
came downfield and he made the pass, but the guy didn't catch it. In this situation, Parkinson caught it and scored a touchdown. That was the
Right.
difference, Z. It was the same
Exactly.
game. It's the
Yeah.
same game.
And you know what? Like, if I'm the Rams, I'm a little concerned, right? Because we as the Rams are head and shoulders better at almost every position compared to the Panthers, and we only beat them by 3. Like, I'm shitting a brick.
Right.
If I'm Sean McVay, I am shitting a brick. And yeah, like Green Bay, 21-3. It's, what are you going to do? It's another Matt LaFleur special. Good job. Well done. And then the Chargers just got the shit kicked out of them. The Patriots defense came to play and mauled Mr. Herbert, Central Casting U's quarterback. And it mauled them so bad that they fired their O-line coach and they fired their offensive coordinator. So back to the drawing board for them too.
Yep.
But if you're looking at the biggest of the surprises, give me the Niners all the way through. You figure Kittle's the kill shot, but apparently, no, they live to fight another day.
I'm gonna go with you on this. I'm gonna agree. Even though I had the 49ers winning the game,
kudos to you. You did.
I was still surprised at how the Eagles lost because, like you said, they neutralized McCaffrey. But it kills me to say this, but credit to Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan with the trick play, right? Jennings throwing the touchdown to McCaffrey, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're the Eagles, you've got what, over $100 million invested in Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. They're fucking dropping passes. Like they had this game. They were up and they could have put them away. They can't catch the ball. The play calling was the dribbling shits. Like, I'm sorry, but for watching this game, you almost felt like it was a parent playing a child, right? It was like, yeah, we're really good, but we're gonna keep you in this, keep it fun. We don't want anybody to go home. And then all of a sudden, the child starts making some baskets, and you're like, all right, let me turn it up a little bit.
Start trying a little bit,
and then you start trying, but it's too late. Like the ball is already rolling, and now we can't catch up. And then things that are simple, handing the ball off to Saquon Barkley got complicated, and Jalen Hurts, former MVP of the Super Bowl. These are the defending Super Bowl champions. Where are you throwing the ball, man? Like, where are you throwing? There are times he's throwing into cover. Even the last play of the game, it's 4th down. The guy is covered by 4 people. Don't throw it. Run. Roll out. Something. Give us something. You're in position to win. As terrible as you've played, you're in position to win this game. And that's what we get. They got no yards. I'm pretty sure it ended 4th and 10. Like, they got no yards after getting all the way down there. So, in hindsight, I actually, while watching the game, and I said the 49ers left them too much time. I was very confident, I was like, all right, the Eagles are just going to come downfield, and they're going to score a touchdown. Jalen's going to put them on his back, or, somebody's going to make a play. Nobody's making a play. I mean, they're it's just embarrassing. Like, and now, what's his name? Petrullo's gone, right? Which needed to happen, right? That's his name. Yeah. Petrullo's gone.
I think Kevin Petrullo, yeah.
And now you got to figure out what you're gonna do. You need. I don't know. Are you gonna bring in McDaniels? I don't know. You got to bring in somebody. They have talent. It's talent. Much as AJ Brown drops passes and the way he's got talent. If you're not going to utilize him, trade him. He's got value. Trade him. Let Devonta Smith be the number 1. Run the football. Why can't we run the football?
They have to fix the offensive line. The offensive line
Yeah.
has been a major issue since Jason
Yeah.
Kelsey retired. But you have to talk about personnel here. Like, what is your vision moving forward? Yes, you're firing Petullo, but what is the identity? Are you going to be a run first team? You sign Saquon Barkley, you sign a bell cow. You didn't sign a guy who was going to be put in a tandem, right? So you make that signing if you're Howie Roseman, you want him to be your bell cow, right? And you want to run a play action off of that. But you have Smith, you have Brown, at least for the time being. That when you have receivers of that caliber, you need to be feeding them the ball. You absolutely need to be doing that. So they need to figure out what they are.
It reminded me of a couple of years ago. So last year they went to the Super Bowl and won. The year before that they didn't go. The year before that they went and lost. I think the year before that, I think they had lost to the Bucks in Tampa Bay, and it kind of reminded me of that, where they were kind of rolling all season, then all of a sudden they like hit a wall and they weren't playing well. As like, what happened? Like, why? It just like it seems like the simplest thing, and they can't score more than 3 touchdowns a game with all that talent.
A lot of playing with their food. You mentioned it before. The analogy of the analogy of the father and the son playing hoops. Now you're playing with your food. You can't do that in the NFL.
Kill shot. Kill him.
You have to.
They lost
you
Kittle.
Have to.
Put him down. Put this animal down right in the first half. We don't want to deal with this stuff, but the drama of the Eagles sideline overtook the result of the game yet again. Mercurial wide receiver A.J. Brown and irritant head coach Nick Sirianni went at it, getting into each other's faces in a heated exchange. After the game, Brown was seen in the locker room hugging teammates in what seemed like a moment of finality. So where do the Eagles go from here, and what's the best new home for A.J. Brown?
The best thing that they can do is divorce themselves from A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Right? It's absolutely...
I keep Devonta Smith 100%.
Yeah. So I think
because I don't remember if you remember, there was a stretch in the season where they're like, all right, he's complaining about getting the ball. Let's get him the ball.
Yeah.
They started. He was heavily targeted. He had touchdowns. He had yards, but they lost all 3 of those games.
Right.
All those
but he got his. But he got his.
Oh, he got his.
Oh, he got his. It upset the apple cart. It actually throws this team out of balance, right? Because what is the identity of this team? Like we've said, it's Saquon Barkley. It has to be, right? The tush push. You made that a big deal, but it doesn't have to be the be all end all. You have a guy. Now there's a guy in Saquon Barkley who, when you keep him healthy and you keep him upright with a stalwart offensive line, he can take you all the way like he did last year. You can't afford to have somebody as hot and cold as A.J. Brown in here. And you can't pair him with a guy like Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni does not bring out the best in A.J. Brown. He's a hothead. He's an irritant. He's a jerk. Like, he's just a straight up jerk. Like, he antagonizes the other team. He antagonizes his own team. He antagonizes the fans. You could tell when A.J. Brown was walking down the tunnel with Nick Sirianni, he gave him the dirtiest look, like, shut your cornball ass up. Shut up, man. You are not doing us any favors. And I understand he's a passionate dude. Apparently, he's a really nice guy away from, great tipper, good with kids, from what I understand. But on the field, he is one of the biggest douches out there. And it doesn't lend itself to a long working relationship. It's kind of like what they said Jim Harbaugh was. Like, I don't see that now with the Chargers, but when he was at Stanford, when he was at the Niners, this uber intense dude, rubbed people the wrong way, the Pete Carroll handshake, the what's your deal, bro? That thing. Like, that's Sirianni now. And I don't think that's a good fit for A.J. Brown. So, adios, vaya con Dios. You got your ring. Thanks for the memories. Now, where do you send him? Where do you send him is the question. I think you got to send him to the Ravens. Get him out of conference. Absolutely get him out of conference. But Baltimore, they still need a wide receiver. You pair AJ Brown with Zay Flowers, or maybe you send Zay Flowers as part of the trade. I don't know. So that could be something that is worthwhile to consider. Another team that can use a wideout, the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills could absolutely use a wideout of his caliber. The Houston Texans could use a wideout of AJ Brown's
There's 20 to
caliber.
25 teams that would take him, right?
I would discount the NFC because I don't think Howie Roseman is dumb enough to trade him within conference. I think they would send him
Who
across.
cares?
The Chargers, Justin Herbert with AJ Brown.
All these teams make sense, but I don't see why you're gonna sell yourself short. You could just charge the NFC teams more for him. That's all.
Are they willing to pay it?
Especially if you're gonna get draft picks, because I'm assuming he's worth 2 players in a draft pick. It's not like he's a bad player. It's just that it's not working here. Like it's not working here, dude. Like, even when we give you the ball, you don't catch the damn ball. And then the games you caught the ball, we didn't win. I felt exactly what you said. They had not a good thing running, but they were starting to hum a little bit with Devonta Smith and Saquon. And then all of a sudden he starts chirping. They're like, all right, I guess let's give him the ball. And they start giving him the ball, and then it all went to shit. But I could see even why the Cardinals for Marvin Harrison Jr., because that's interesting. I think there's a lot of places where he would end up that work. I don't think Detroit needs him.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think the Panthers really need him. They got their guy. They're young. But I think there's a ton of places he can go. But I definitely think they need to move on from him. It's just not working unless they get an offensive coordinator that's like, oh, I can make this work and I can spread the ball out and make everybody happy. Then yeah, go for it. But
you said McDaniel. You said McDaniel if he doesn't get the Cleveland job. What about Cliff Kingsbury? I think Kingsbury could possibly make this work.
Maybe. Yeah.
But then you have Kingsbury.
I don't hate that idea.
You have Kingsbury and Sirianni. I don't know if that works.
I'd actually like to see McDaniel go to the Lions. If I'm being honest, I'd like to see his offense with that group. He's got 2 running backs. He's got 2, actually probably 3 really good receivers. Goff is good. A tight end, like that seems like perfect for him. Yeah, Sirianni and McDaniel would be an interesting combo. Cliff Kingsbury, sure. Just the problem I have with Cliff is like, what happened this past season? Like, you remember he was there before. I'm pretty sure he was there before Jaden Daniels got there, and then Jaden got there, did well, and then this year was just like he got hurt. But the offense, I don't know, it just seems smart, and they didn't bring him back, which is another weird thing. But speaking of people that have not been brought back, we got to talk about Tomlin.
Yes, we do.
Tomlin stepping down as Steelers head coach, different from being fired, ladies and gentlemen. Stepping down after 19 years, over 500 record, 1 Super Bowl appearance. So where does Tomlin go and where do the Steelers go? They've only had 3 coaches in their whole history.
So it's one of 2 options, right? Either you stay the course and you sit out for a year or 2 years, and then you're a free agent, right? You can go wherever you please, and that team does not require, they're not required to send compensation to the Steelers. If you are so inclined that you have to coach this year, if you just can't do a year of TV, they're at least they're getting probably a 1. I would say at least a 1.
Wow.
I mean, the guy's over 500 for his career.
Was he forced out, or did he step down on his own regard? What do you think?
I think it was a little bit of a sign the paper LaRusso situation. It's like, if you don't, it's either step down or we're going to fire you. One's more embarrassing. We'll give you a minute to decide.
Well, one helps out the franchise and one really doesn't, right?
Correct. It was like the scene in Goodfellas when Joe Pesci's led into the room, except they didn't kill him. So there's that. But I mean, as far as where he ends up, like, I know we were texting back and forth, and we had our pre-production meeting, and what came to me later on is the fact that the Rooneys and the Maras are family. So would they take a little less from family so that the
Is
Giants
that
would
what
have
you
their
want?
as a Giant fan,
Yeah, is that what
I
you
would
want?
prefer Harbaugh. I would prefer Harbaugh. But now that my top 3 might have changed a little bit because it went from Harbaugh, Stefanski, McCarthy. Now McCarthy's off the list. I got to put Harbaugh, Stefanski, Tomlin. Because Tomlin's still a defensive guy, which is good. The offensive track record is an issue. Who would his coordinator be? Right? He's not bringing Arthur Smith with him. Thank God he's not bringing Arthur Smith with him. Although I could see Arthur Smith ending up with Baltimore.
But
Reunited with King.
Don't you want a guy that's gonna develop Dart?
I want a CEO type coach. Like, I was sold on the quarterback guru. I want veteran competency. That's what I want. I want a guy, like, I just want a competent person at the helm. And I think you have Harbaugh, who's won a Super Bowl, right? Coach of the year. Stefanski, 2-time coach of the year. Had the Cleveland fucking Browns in position to go to the AFC title game, right? Like, and then you have Mike Tomlin, who's 19 years above 500 and a Super Bowl. Yes, with Bill Cowher's team. I will stipulate it was with Bill Cowher's team. But I just want competent, man. I'm starving. I am starving. And in the Joe Judges and the Pat Shermers and the Brian Daybulls, the great coordinators, good coordinators, shitty head coaches. Ben McAdoo, like, I just want a fucking adult. Give me a guy. Like, it's akin to when the Mets hired Buck Showalter. I was all about it. Why? Because Buck Showalter was a fucking adult, right? Give me that. Give me competent. Give me respected. I'm good with that. I'm good with any of those 3. That being said, Tomlin's my third. Tomlin is my third because they haven't been able to develop a quarterback. He had Ben Roethlisberger. And then look at the track record.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all you got to know.
Listen, I mean, for me, somebody was talking about it yesterday with me and saying, he's a winner. He never had a sub 500 season. He's a winner.
Which
and
is true.
Said to him, but with all those wins, he didn't go to the Super Bowl and he didn't win. He only won 1. Like, what, it's not like he was like Peyton Manning and company, right, like showing up with his briefcase to the AFC Championship game every year. Like, when I think of the AFC back in the day, I really think of it's like the Patriots, the Colts, and then the Steelers. That's the way I look at it. I think he's a good coach. I don't think he's a bad coach, but I think he should go to the desert. Like, go to Arizona,
I see. Okay.
Build that organization up. Like, they could use a guy like you. Like, go there. I think. I don't.
There's a desert in Las Vegas. What about the Raiders?
Yeah, sure. I don't have a problem with that either. I think he'd be better in Vegas over Harbaugh in Vegas. I think Harbaugh would be better for the Giants rather than Tomlin for the Giants.
Agreed.
You want to have somebody that's been in this situation with a young quarterback. Harbaugh did it with Flacco. He did it with Lamar. Like, I can't speak to why things didn't work out, but Harbaugh's going to be a CEO type, right? He's going to have an oversight of everything that's going on. He's a good special teams guy. But for me, I still go to Mike McCarthy, and Mike McCarthy might be the best person for the Pittsburgh job because he's a Pittsburgh guy. I'm pretty sure he's from Pennsylvania in some capacity.
I think he's from suburban Pittsburgh.
But what a year for the Jets not to fire Glenn. All these coaches are out there, and you're not rethinking it. Even the Dolphins are like, "Oh, fuck you, McDaniel, you're gone. we can't pass this shit up."
Yes, you. But think about the AFC North for a second. Only Zach Taylor is employed.
Right.
Right. Think about that. And we've been
That's
talking
wild.
about that he was a candidate to get fucking axed this year after seeing what
The
happened
only
with the
thing,
Bengals.
right? And it's interesting because I think they're giving him a pass because Joe likes him. I think they're giving him a pass because they do score, and that's his thing, right?
Yeah.
He knows offense, and they put up points most of the time. They shit the bed against Baltimore at the end of the year, which is weird, but so I don't know. I think if I'm Tomlin, I'm gonna go to the desert. Like I'll go coach Arizona. There's low expectations there. Or if the Raiders will have me, I'll go to Vegas. You know, but
I think
to
Tom
think of
Brady would
him.
respect him enough to
I
bring
mean, what
him
about
in.
LaFleur? Should Green Bay move on for LaFleur? A 3-6 record in the playoffs.
Now there's a guy, as Chris Collinsworth would say.
When you could bring in Harbaugh, you could bring in Tomlin there. I
See
don't know.
if it was Harbaugh, yes. I
I don't know if he'd
think
want that job though. I don't know if he'd want to go
no.
to Green
There's a
Bay.
lot of
It's not really,
like
in my opinion, it's title town, but it's not really attractive to me. Like I don't want to go there.
no, but at the same time,
They're
it's like
they're
he's
another
got
team. They're another team that's set, right? They're
yeah.
offensively set. They just need really to figure out the defensive part of this, which kind of plays.
They had the defense figured out, and then Micah Parsons got hurt, but it's
Right,
got to be
right.
more developed.
Right.
The one thing that John Harbaugh has for him is that he has the track record with Flacco and Lamar, and he can try and translate that to Jordan Love. And Jordan Love has shown that he's taking some steps, right? Jaden Daniels completely fell flat on his face this year. Jordan Love took a little bit of a positive step.
Do we think the firing of coaches is done?
That's a good question.
Do we think Sean McDermott can lose his job if he loses to the Broncos?
I think McDermott. I think they might be done.
Did he save his job by beating the Jacksonville Jaguars this past week?
No, because they beat a team that was in last place last year, and then they're up this year. I think it is Super Bowl or bust. I think you've said that multiple times, and I agree with you. My concern for Sean McDermott and the reason why he's back on the chopping block, Harbaugh, McCarthy, and Tomlin. You can arguably replace Sean McDermott with a better coach, right? Or even if you want to go against the grain, you can go with McDaniel. Like you can go with Stefanski. You can go with guys that don't fit that blue collar Buffalo mold, right? Remember, they're opening a new stadium. So a sexy coach hire, their tickets are being sold already, but it adds a little bit of extra there. I think McDermott could be in play. Peyton's not going anywhere. McDonald's not going anywhere. McVay's not going anywhere. Kyle Shanahan, I get his team is injured, but his team is always injured. Like, how many times can you use the all my guys are hurt thing, right? Yeah. First it was a leg thing, then it was a spiritual thing, and it's a psychological thing, and it's a heart attack. Who used heart attack?
Me. But I think it's still. I mean, listen. I don't like Kyle Shanahan. I think it's really impressive what he's done in losing his linebacker. Kittle was hurt most of the year. Purdy was hurt at one point. McCaffrey, the amount of touches this guy is getting, and he's still going. And even now, teams are focused on him and shutting him down. They're still winning games.
Yeah.
Very, very impressive. But the hot stove in baseball continues. And the Chicago Cubs have quite a week. First, they acquire starter Edward Cabrera from the Marlins for a package including top prospect outfielder Owen Cassie. Then, on Saturday night, the Northsiders inked Alex Bregman to a 5-year, $175 million contract. So have they done enough for you to call them number 2 in the National League behind the Dodgers?
So, it's tough. It's a tough one, right? Because if I'm calling them the number 2, then the 96 win team Milwaukee Brewers move down. Are they better than the Brewers at this point? I mean, they're certainly sexier than the Brewers. They certainly have better name recognition than the Brewers, but the Brewers, they hit for contact, they field, they pitch, they do everything. Now, Cabrera gives me pause. He gets hurt a lot. And you've just paid a steep premium in your top outfield prospect. And you have to wonder what this rotation is going to be. Is Cade Horton going to be who he was last year? Imanaga's Imanaga. Like, he showed Imanaga's a good pitcher. Had to opt out to get a pay raise. That's the Chicago way. You're waiting for Justin Steele to come back, right? You have J-Mo Tyone is still there. Remember J-Mo Tyone? He's still in the league. That's awesome. Good for you, J-Mo. And then,
Friend of the program.
Friend of the program, former Yankee. Who wasn't a former Yankee, right? But prior to this week, their big move was bringing in former Yankee Tyler Austin. He was apparently kicking ass in Korea, and they went and got him.
And we mean in baseball.
We mean in baseball, yes. He wasn't doing Taipei death matches. He was not doing that. So,
blood sport.
The Kumite. Yes, he was competing in the Kumite. and Ogre was there. Okay, that's fine. But they still seem a little weak in the outfield. Yes, Seiya Suzuki, Ian Happ, P. Crow Armstrong. I think you could use Kyle Tucker. Like, maybe you can revisit Kyle Tucker.
I think that ship has sailed. No,
I mean, it depends on their payroll constraints. I think that you could bring him in.
What a kick in the dick that would be if he went back to the Cubs.
He's back.
That would be pretty funny. The Yankees and the Mets and the Toronto Blue Jays throw the papers up in the air.
Son of a bitch. God damn it. God damn son of a bitch. But
unless Boston can come out of nowhere and Boston's desperate.
Possible. Now. They need somebody.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think was the reason Bregman went to the Cubs? Because there's mixed reports out there. One report is saying that Boston didn't think there were any other suitors. They gave him an offer and they were unwilling to raise it. The other rumor is that he asked for a no trade clause and they told him that they don't give no trade clauses because they're the Boston Red Sox. And he wants to kind of be in a place for the next couple of years because his kids are in school.
Which is fair.
Which do you think it is?
I think, well, notoriously, the Red Sox,
could be both.
Yeah, it could be, but the Red Sox do have a track record of trading high-profile players. Now, Alex Bregman did not come up through their system, but still, they traded Mookie Betts. They traded David Price. They traded Rafael Devers. They traded Nomar Garcia-Parra. Like that, if you're a superstar player in Boston, you are not safe. You are not safe. So it's a possibility. Like,
and they trade Jason Bay too.
Oh no, they just let him go to the Mets. They said, "Here, please, for the love of God, just do this for us. Do us a favor. Do us a favor." Your ballpark is twice our size. He's gonna suck, and he did. Thanks a lot for that. So, just old memories. But if you're starting to settle down as a family man, if you're starting to kind of put roots down, you kind of need that security. Now you could anchor your family in Boston and travel, and like that is possible. That is doable. Many athletes do it, but you want the security. You definitely want the security to know that, especially if they're really young, that they're not going to get uprooted and then you're living this kind of transient life. I'm inclined to agree with the player. I'm inclined to think that the player is telling the truth here a little bit. But as far as not having any suitors, I mean, apparently the Detroit Tigers were never serious about Alex Bregman because they were talking to him this year. They talked to him last year. Like, what's not to like? What is not to like about Alex Bregman putting him in that order. Baez, Glaber, Green, Carpenter. What's not to like?
It's the
It lengthens
money.
your order.
It's the money.
Are they
I
are they
think
not signing him to keep that money in reserve for Scooble? Is that the situation?
I don't think it's that, Z, but it's 5 years, $175 million. I mean, when you look at Bregman, is that what you think he is? Do you think he's that? I mean,
I think
you're
he's
a
an
Met fan. Would you want him playing third for that
hell no.
much money?
Hell no.
Right.
No.
It's, to me, it's just a lot. It's a lot.
5 years,
I'm kind of in
175 with a
Boston's
no
camp.
trade? No.
Yeah, I'm kind of in Boston's camp where it's just like I can't pay you this much. The only thing I think Boston jacked up in this is you got rid of Devers for this guy, right? So I think you should have did whatever he asked for. You had to know this was coming if you let Devers go for this guy.
Right.
I mean, unless there was a very miscommunication of what how this was going to go, because he only signed a 1-year deal. I'm sure you talked about what it was going to take to stay when he came. I would think you did, but I think they really jacked this up. But maybe not, because they went and got Suarez today.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say if they're able to add Bellinger and they're able to add Tucker, then they're all right. They're all right. But I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't know if that's going to happen.
I don't know. I think it's one or the other. I don't think it's both for Boston. Now, are they going to pony up for
They have
Tucker?
the money. They have the money.
They have the money.
Boston has the money.
But Toronto, I think, can offer more.
Yes.
And Toronto was an inning away from winning the World Series last year.
But if you're Tucker, do you want to go play in Toronto? Because playing in Fenway is going to be stupid. It's going to be like playing in a wiffle ball field for him.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing is like, what do you want to, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how this is going to, I don't know how it's going to end. But
if I was Kyle Tucker, I would choose the Blue Jays. Just the trajectory. I think the trajectory is better with the Blue Jays than it is for the Red Sox. It's better than the Yankees. It's certainly better than the Mets. So, I think.
But what are your, in what scenario are you talking about? You're saying regardless of what they offer you, or?
I'm saying regardless of what they offer. Like, obviously you're not going to do a, 2 years, 30 million. You're not going to do like the joke Met offer. I said that the Mets were going to offer 2 for 30. Hey, we tried. No. It's got to be in the area. It's got to be in the range you want. It's not a hometown discount.
Because I'm guessing that everyone's hovering around the same area, but they're not giving him the years. That's what I would guess. I'm guessing he's looking for 7.
He's looking for 7.
And they're giving him 3 and 4, I'm thinking. And that's what's really like, fuck. Like, because we talk about this every year. He's looking for his payday.
Right.
He went to the Cubs, played really well for them, but he's trying to get his payday. He's the only guy out there. It's him and Bellinger that are out there.
See, the thing is with Tucker is he's 28.
Yeah.
He's 28. So like he's in there. He's in the prime. 7 years, it takes you to 35. It's not
he's just a Jason Bay type guy, right? Like that's what he kind of comes off to me as. Bellinger, the problem with him is the drop off. I don't know what Bellinger I'm getting. I have no idea. You want 7 years, 215. I don't know what I'm getting for that though.
No fucking way.
What guy am I getting? He wants to make $3 million less than Judge a year.
Are you getting MVP Bellinger, or are you getting the 3 years in the wilderness Bellinger? I am inclined to think you're going to get a little mix of both. Like the first year, you'll get an MVP performance.
I don't think so. I think his MVP years are behind him. I think his best years are behind him. The only thing that's attractive about Cody Bellinger is the dude can play the outfield and he can play first base. That's the best part. And he doesn't strike out a lot.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't strike out a lot. That's the nicest part about him. But is he going to be the reason I go and win a World Series? I don't think so.
Probably not. I mean, at this point, you're looking like
Now, is Kyle Tucker the reason I could win a World Series? Well, I can see that he's got two.
He does.
He went to the Cubs and made them relevant. If I add him, if the Mets add Kyle Tucker in front of Juan Soto, I think that gives them a good chance to finish in first or second in the East.
Can Kyle Tucker pitch? Can Kyle Tucker pitch? Like, because that's what the Mets desperately need right now. It doesn't matter. Like,
no,
okay, you put it.
No, but right now the problem is they have nobody to hit in front of Soto, and I don't think Bellinger is okay, but that's if you're coming in second. Like, if we don't get Tucker, then yeah, Bellinger will do, I guess. Because I don't think you guys are going to get Bo Bichette.
No, I think the Phillies are going to get Bo Bichette. They're coming hard for Bo Bichette.
That way.
It sounds like it's going to be the Phillies. So
it's pretty wild when you think about it.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting to see where
done by them if they were able to pull that off.
I mean, we got to see what's going on with Philly because, Real Muto is still available. You lost Ranger Suarez.
Get him.
Yeah, Zach Wheeler's not going to pitch for the foreseeable future. Like, you're in flux right now. Like, what are you going to do? Like, if you're the Phillies, because that bullpen is not any better. that bullpen is about the same.
I think their window. I think they missed their window.
They're past it. They absolutely passed.
Unless they go get Mike Trout. Go get Mike Trout. Go get into rotting carcass of Mike Trout. Give him a chance. But over to the NBA, as the Hawks dealt alleged superstar guard Trae Young to his preferred destination, apparently, the 10-win Washington Wizards. Guard CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert go back to Atlanta in the deal. Reports from Brian Windhorst indicate that Young will not play much, as the Wizards will try and protect their 2026 first-round pick from the Suns. Huh?
Why are you making this trade? Like, if you're the Wizards, why are you making this trade?
I think it's interesting that both Luka and Young got dealt.
It is interesting
because I just think if you're a general manager, even if you're Dallas, you're looking at this and it's like, man, this guy's been here, and arguably he's been going up this whole trajectory. Okay. Yeah. And the one time we got to the finals, we got beaten 5 games or 4 games or whatever it was. I agree. He could have gotten more than Anthony Davis. Yes, 100%. But you could have gotten to a Trae Young situation where he tells them where I want to go. Right. And then it's like, well, fuck, like, I don't want to send you to the Wizards. I'm not saying Luka would have asked to go to the Wizards, but, odds are he might have asked to go to LA or he might have asked to go to Houston or whatever, but you didn't want to get into that situation. And I'm a Mavericks fan. I like the Dallas Mavericks, even though Luka's gone now and that was my guy. But, like, I kind of get it. Like, we're not winning with you. Then what are you doing here, man? Like, at one point, Jalen Brunson and Luka Doncic were on the same team.
Right.
And they never got anywhere. So what am I going to do to make this better? How am I going to get this going again? You know what I mean? And yes, I agree. He could have got more, but I feel like it's the same Atlanta thing. He's looking at Trae Young. He's like, okay, great. Trae Young is a great point guard, and this is wonderful, but we can't even make the playoffs.
My argument is Trae Young, yes, he plays point guard, but is he actually a point guard? The dude averages, for his career, he averages 25 and 9 and 3 and 4 rebounds. He's a scorer, man. I think you're better having him off the ball. And you know what? The Knicks they can do the funniest fucking thing. They can bring the villain into the fold. They can absolutely bring the villain into the fold and acquire Trae Young to play with Jalen Brunson. And he doesn't play any fucking defense. He plays absolutely no defense.
You think they could coexist?
I don't know. I absolutely don't know. But it's a nightmare. It would be a total nightmare. But it might cost you less than the Giannis pipe dream. It certainly would cost you less
See, I
than the Giannis
messaged you
pipe
this.
dream.
I think the Hawks are up to something because
Yeah.
I think they're up to something. And they're dumping payroll. I can see them going after Giannis and going after Anthony Davis, even though Anthony Davis is hurt. I could totally see them, trying to buy low on Anthony Davis, but give the Hawks everything that they're asking for and try to put all that together and see what happens. Not this year, but next year and in the future. And you get a couple of shooters. And I just think that's the route they're going. Kind of the same route Nico Harrison was going. Oh, we'll play defense because it can't keep going this way. He's Luka Doncic scores a ton of points, plays no defense, useless. At least Giannis, you can say he's a rim protector. He plays some defense. He grabs boards.
He'll rebound. Yes.
And then if I have Anthony Davis, okay, we're going to be defensively sound because let's be real. You're going to have to beat the Thunder. You're going to have to beat the Spurs. Houston's really good this year. How are you beating these teams? You're not going to outscore these teams. You're going to have to stop them in some capacity.
And you're not built for that right now. You're absolutely not built. And you certainly weren't built like that for a guy like Trae Young. So, but you look at the optics of it. This is a preferred destination, a 10-win team. What did I text you? I text you, Trae Young is a loser. Of all the places you could want to go, you chose Washington, D.C. No offense to Washington, D.C. They haven't been relevant since Michael Jordan was playing there.
What about when Beal and Wall were there?
What did they do? What did Beal?
I was told a lot of money. They paid a lot of taxes.
I was told that Beal and Wall was really good, but it's like the albino tiger. I never saw it. They rarely played together.
Right.
So what are we doing here? And the fact that this guy wants to go there, and then they're not going to play him? No, dude. You get your ass on the court. Get on the court. Now, I understand they're trying to protect their pick because of the Bradley Beal trade. Like this pick could end up getting swapped if it's not top 8, I believe. It could get swapped with the Suns. So how? You're bringing an asset just to not do anything with it. Tell me how that makes sense. Now, the only way this does make sense is if you're flipping them. The only way it makes sense is if it's like Mike Piazza with the Marlins. He's there for a week and then he's elsewhere. And you bring in more warm bodies, more picks, and rebuild this team. Because the Washington has been in... They've been in a perennial rebuild for 15 years, it feels like. Most of our adult life, the Washington Wizards / Bullets have been terrible. So I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Why Trae Young would want to go there. I don't understand why they would want him if they weren't going to play him. And it's just absolutely confusing. Adam Silver should look into this, but he's not. So I'm not even going to dignify the rest of that sentence with a response. The national championship game is set. Here we go. Finally. Let's go. It'll be a home game for the U, by the way. So the 10 seed Miami Hurricanes outlasted the 6 seed Ole Miss 31-27, and they'll be facing juggernaut number 1 Indiana, who mauled Oregon 56-22.
Glad I watched that game.
Since Michael Irvin and Ray Lewis suiting up isn't an option, what can Miami do to weather the Indiana onslaught to deliver a win to the U?
Nothing. It will be a waste of everyone's fucking time to watch after 6 weeks of playoffs to watch the 10 seed play the 1 seed in Miami. Like, Jesus. What a waste of time. The score is going to be probably like 42. And it's Carson Beck, I believe, is the quarterback of the Miami team who was driving around campus in a Ferrari. So what does he have to lose in this game? Like,
Did they ever find that? I thought it got stolen.
I think he got a new one. Like they stole the Lambo and he went and got a Ferrari. This has zero relevance. This game means absolutely nothing, and I don't even think I will watch it because I don't care. I was stupid enough to watch the Oregon Indiana game, and what a waste of time that was. And this is going to be a 10 against a 1.
An
Yes.
undefeated one.
Yeah, an undefeated one.
It's tough. It's absolutely tough. You know what? If Carson Beck pulls this off, he's got to jump to at least number 2 in the draft board, and maybe the Jets will ruin his career. Because we know Dante Moore is not going there.
Nope.
Dante Moore's going back to school.
He heard those rumors. He's like, nope. Absolutely
Joke's on you.
not.
Moogie's like, joke's on you, pal. We'll have the number 1 next year.
And now
surprise,
the
motherfucker.
Simpson seems like he's gonna come out, and that's gonna be a disaster for him.
Dylan Raiola might be out. Like,
just trade the pick, man. Just trade the pick.
No.
You don't take a quarterback. Trade the pick.
Nobody wants to go there. And
Nobody.
Stephen A. Smith, I don't agree with much that Stephen A. Smith says, but the reports, are starting to back him up here that nobody wants to play for the Jets.
They don't.
But as far as
you're not going to be the guy that's going to change this organization. Unfortunately, the same thing goes to the Cleveland Browns. You don't want to go to Cleveland. They had Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield turned out to be a damn good player. Like, same thing with the Jets. You had Geno Smith. You had Sam Darnold. Yes, it takes time. But then you go and you draft Zach Wilson. And you have your coach and your GM fucking going to bat for this dude that's going to be flipping burgers in 6 months.
And you know what? Like, can Mendoza turn the Raiders around? Like, the Raiders haven't exactly been the bastion of quarterback success either. Like, Derek Carr. Okay. Rich Gannon. They didn't draft Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon almost washed out of the league before they got him. Jamarcus Russell. Oh, the last time they had the number 1 pick. My man, Mr. Blank DVD. So there you go. Like, they haven't had the best track record either. So he could either save the franchise or they can ruin his career. Much like the Jets.
I see him as being like a Sam Bradford type. His game is very similar to his. That's what I see when I watch him play.
He's got a good arm. He's definitely got a good arm. He's got those intangible leadership skills. He's like Kirk. He looks like Kirk Cousins Jr. out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could do worse.
Jets could probably get Kirk Cousins.
There you go. There. That might behoove them. But as far as this game goes, I mean, you can't slow down Mendoza's offense. The defense is ferocious. Like, Kirk Cignetti attacks in all phases of the game. Like, he plays an uber aggressive style, and like, they're there to punch you in the mouth. They're not worried about your feelings. Fuck your feelings. They're gonna run it up. Why? Because they can. Stop us, Mr. I win. Google me. That's all from the jump, from press conference. Like, that's what you know about Kurt Cignetti, and that is the swagger and that is the attitude that he brings to your organization. Miami's gonna have to. They're gonna have to pull what the Giants did against the Bills. Just grind it down, keep the offense on the sidelines, don't make mistakes, chew that clock, and do just enough. Scrape by. Make it friggin' 10-3, 3-0. Good luck. But that's what you have to do. Like, you have to take the air out of the football and keep their offense on the sideline. But that's going to be a tough. That's going to be a tough sled for the Hurricanes. I can't see it. I think it's over at halftime. This team is just too good, too talented, and unfortunately, the U is going to have to wait one more year to get back to prominence. All right, boys and girls, you know what time it is. It's time for the alleged superstar of the week. You know how it goes. We put up a poll on our X account at FadeRouteDNZ and our Instagram poll at FadeRoutePodcast, and you vote. And you vote. The winner of the vote gets a shout out on this here show and takes home the coveted ass trophy. And do you know who took home the coveted ass trophy last week, D?
I don't.
The Jets. Of course. Of course. Fucking... At this point, the Jets, we might have to retire them. We might have to put them in the Hall of Lame. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, how many times can one organization win this? They're at this point, they're right up top with Aaron Rodgers. But that was last week. This is this week. Who are your nominees for Alleged Superstar of the Week, D?
All right, so first up, I've got let's go with the alleged superstar on the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo. With the Bucks down by 30 to the Timberwolves last night, they were booed by their fans going into halftime. Giannis mocked the fans' boos after halftime after making his first basket. Dude, you don't get to do that. Like, you don't get to boo the fans when you play like trash. Ultimately, the Bucks lost 139 to 106. But win like a man and lose like a man. You are down, do something about it. Come back, show some spry, score some points. If you don't like the booing, do something about it. Giannis Antetokounmpo, you are my alleged superstar of the week. Number 2, A.J. Brown, the wide receiver on the Philadelphia Eagles. Don't complain about not getting the ball and then drop passes on key third down plays in the playoffs at home a year after winning the Super Bowl. A.J. Brown, you are my alleged superstar of the week. And the last one, the Chargers offensive line. It was interesting when they were doing the introductions, all of the offensive linemen were either not ranked or ranked at the bottom at their position. They went on to give up 6 sacks and only allowed Justin Herbert to throw for 160 yards passing. I know I'm trying to get Justin Herbert's signed ball on the cheap, and you guys are helping me do that, but you're going to get this dude killed. Chargers offensive line, you are my alleged superstars of the week. What do you got, Z?
Oi. Well, you really can't go wrong with those, but
Well,
I am going to start with the New York Rangers.
Oh, God.
Bruins 10, Rangers 2.
Who hired this crew?
I was out at when it was 7-1.
I've seen it up.
When the Bruins kicked the extra point, I turned it off.
Field goal. Oh, when they kicked the extra point.
Yeah, when they kicked the extra point, I was moving on to Mistletoe Murders on Hallmark, and then I saw they kicked a field goal after the fact. So if you haven't watched it, Mistletoe Murders is actually a very good show. So definitely
watching the Ranger game.
Oh my God, and they're losing 6-1 right now. So if just in case you need to know, Bruins and Senators 16, Rangers 3. Most goals allowed since 2009. Most goals in a single game.
Shesterkin's hurt, right?
Shesterkin's hurt. Quick is in. Quick's getting hung out to dry. That defense is fucking terrible. Like, Panarin is scoring. Mika is scoring. They're just showcasing for other teams. JT Miller is calling people out. You know, I'm glad we got him back. That's wonderful. I mean, it could be worse. It could be worse. You could have Philip Hedl right now. Philip Hedl is concussed again. So there's that. What can you say about this season is that it's the Olympic break can't come fast enough, and neither can the trade deadline. I got my mom tickets to Rangers Jets for Christmas. That is going to look unrecognizable. I don't know who the fuck these guys are going to be. It's going to be the Rangers versus the Hartford Wolfpack. It's going to be the Jets versus the Hartford Wolfpack. Like, that's what we're going to see in March. But New York Rangers, you are my alleged superstar of the week. Number 2, Brandon McManus. Oi, 2 missed field goals and an extra point. And last time I checked, you had as many allegations or similar allegations as Justin Tucker, yet you were able to keep a job this year. I find that very interesting. But bad week to have a bad week, Brandon. Brandon McManus, you are my alleged superstar of the week. And number 3, Dennis Schroeder. You hear about this? Got suspended 3 games for taking a swing at Luka. Oh, so Luka was taunting Schroeder that he should have taken the Lakers contract extension, and Dennis Schroeder apparently took that personally. So, things seem to calm down, but then off the court it escalated again, and he was trying to throw some hands. He wanted a piece of Luka. So maybe Luka's right. I'm just saying, maybe he should have taken that extension instead of rotting in Sacramento. Dennis Schroeder, you are my alleged superstar of the week. I think we said our piece. Go to our X account at FadeRouteDNZ. Go to our Instagram poll at FadeRoute Podcast and vote and vote and vote and vote. And for our nominees, it is the option for the division round of the NFL playoffs. We both had really good weeks. Believe we were both 4-2 on the weekend. So that's excellent work on us. Good job by us. That's 1 for us. Now, the field gets tougher. The cream has risen to the top. The 1 seeds are back in play. Let's see what we got this weekend. Saturday afternoon, 4:30. Saturday night's all right for football. Elton John did it better than I could. The 6 seed Buffalo Bills go into the Mile High to take on the number 1 seed Denver Broncos.
I'm sticking with Denver. I had them all year. I'm not going to back down now.
It's going to be close. I think the Broncos win, but Buffalo is going to put a scare into them, and 4th quarter Bo Nix shows up. Your Saturday night main event, the 6 seed San Francisco 49ers go into Lumen Field to take on the number 1 seed Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I just can't see the 49ers winning this game. No Kittle. McDonald's going to be dialed up. He's been waiting a week. He's ready. I just think they're playing in Seattle. I'm going with Sam and the Seahawks.
Redemption for Sam Darnold. Redemption for last year's playoff performance. It was absolute basura. This year, nah. Seahawks win. Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. The 5 seed Houston Texans go into Foxborough to take on the 2 seed New England Patriots.
I'm going to go with the Texans just because defensively, I think they're going to give the Patriots a lot of problems. And I think the Texans will just do just enough to win by like a field goal. Texans.
I'm going to go with the Patriots in an extremely low-scoring game. I see Stroud struggling. I see May struggling. These are 2 of the 3 best defenses left. I would say Denver's number 1. I would say Houston and the Patriots are up there. You can argue for 2 and 3. It's going to be a black and blue type game. And the Patriots do just enough. Maybe they got something up their sleeve. Maybe Josh McDaniels has one more trick that he can pull out.
Drake May played awful.
Drake May was terrible.
He played awful.
Drake May was bad.
It was really bad.
But you know who was good? Stevenson and Henderson. Like that was impressive. That was very impressive. So narrowly going to take the Patriots. It wouldn't surprise me if the Texans won, but I think the Patriots are there this go round. And your Sunday night special, 6:30 p.m. The 5 seed Los Angeles Rams go into Soldier Field, 17 degrees, to take on the 2 seed Chicago Bears.
Sticking with the Rams. They're my pick. Sticking with them.
I got to go with the Rams too. I have to go with the Rams too. The Bears are going to put up a representative fight like they have.
Stafford's used to playing in the cold.
Stafford's used to playing in the cold. It's not
so
as
is Devontae. Devontae too.
Yeah. So I think that it's not as big of an issue as it's been in the past. It may affect the kicking game. That's about it. Because, 17 degrees, that ball's going to be like a rock. So you're going to have to, it's Cairo Santos and a rookie. So edge goes to the Bears there.
A rookie or a Wookie?
Rookie.
Oh,
he might be a Wookie. I don't know. Harrison Nevis. Hey, shut up, Nevis. But I think that it's Caleb Williams is going to be hit or miss. The weather's going to be a factor. The experience of the Rams is going to push them through. Those are our picks. What are yours? Hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com. Slide in our DMs on IG at FadeRoute Podcast. Drop us a line on X at FadeRouteDNZ and let us know your picks for the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. It's time for us to run the go route. We'll talk to you next week. It is time for us to order up.
Order up, order up.
This week, we are ordering up our Major League Baseball Hall of Fame ballot. The announcement is next week, but we just can't wait.
Yeah.
We want to do it right now.
Sorta.
Now, lots of active players, lots of recent retirees, recently eligible players. You have a lot of steroid era players. You have quite the list here. But who's it going to be? From 5 to 1. What do you got, Dave?
All right, so I was kind of forced to put together 5.
Yeah.
I don't. Really, for me, maybe one guy or maybe 2, but I'll play the game. So number 5, I'll go with Cole Hamels. He's got a World Series ring. He dicked around a little bit. It was all right. I mean, the thing is if you're gonna, you start putting shit players in, it's like, yeah, Cole Hamels can go. Andrew Jones, right? I mean, he's 10 Gold Gloves, I believe. It's pretty impressive. He had a lot of home runs, but his average is dog shit. It's the problem there. Number 3, I go Dustin Pedroia, 2 World Series. Really good hitter for the Red Sox during that stretch. I think argue if Jeff Kent is in, I think Dustin Pedroia could be in, right?
Yeah.
All right, so now here's the one that I can get on board with. I'm not saying I'd put him in, but I can get on board with this. I think you get on board with Andy Pettitte. I mean, 19 playoff wins. I believe he has 4 rings. His numbers are close to that of CC Sabathia, and CC got in. Andy's got the whole steroid thing looming on him, but I mean his playoff numbers are stupid. Like, they're just stupid. The quality starts, his ERA, and I don't believe Andy did it maliciously. I truly believe he was trying to recover, trying to get back to help his team. I do not think he was trying to gain an advantage on the field. So I'm okay with Andy Pettitte. The only guy that I can see getting into this thing, and I wouldn't have a problem, is Carlos Beltran. I mean, he's got 500 doubles, 400 home runs, 300 stolen bases. There's only 5 other people that have done that. Then he also has 1,500 runs and 1,500 RBIs. There's only 38 guys that have done that, and 30 of them are in the Hall of Fame. 2 of them, which is like Pujols and I forget the other guy, they're gonna get in. Oh, Miguel Cabrera and Pujols are 2 guys that are part of that 8-man group that aren't in. They're gonna get in. I mean, yeah, and I think he has the highest stolen base rate in his career. Like, he So, and that was during a time when people really couldn't steal bases like they steal bases now. So, I can get on board with Beltran. What about you?
I mean, we agree on a couple of them. We disagree on a couple of. I don't know if Dustin Pedroia played long enough. Like
That's
maybe
fair.
that's like if we're talking about like height of his career, I just don't know if he played long enough at
That's
a high
fair.
enough level. Like a guy like Felix Hernandez, he won the Cy Young with a 500 record.
The
Like
problem with Felix is he didn't win anything.
he
Like
didn't win shit.
he didn't
Congrats.
win anything. He didn't. So you were good, yeah, you were good, but you didn't win anything, dude. And
No.
his numbers are the same as Cole Hamill. So Cole Hamill then gets in because Cole Hamill got a World Series. I think he might
Yeah.
have been the MVP of the World Series too that year.
Pretty sure, yeah. For me, I'm starting with Omar Vizquel. 9th year on the ballot, 11-time Gold Glove winner. He's not in there for his offense, right? If
Right.
Ozzie Smith is in and Bill
yeah.
Mazeroski is in, Omar Vizquel is in.
I could get on board with that.
Omar Vizquel is one of the smoothest shortstops I've ever seen. Like, give this man some fucking respect. My God. My God. All right. Like, and he moved around the diamond at the end of his career. Like, he actually not only was a Gold Glove shortstop, but he moved to second. He played third. Like he became a utility infielder for the White Sox later in his career. So that's pretty friggin' impressive in his mid 40s to be like, hey, fuck it, I'll just do it. Like, why not? So that is super impressive. Number 4 for me, I know we've discussed this before, and I know you're not big on him, but I'm big on Mark Burley. 6 years, no hitter, perfect game.
I had him and I crossed him out.
214 and 163. 381 is a little high. 10 career shutouts, 33 career complete games. So I'm a Mark Burley guy. I'm absolutely a Mark Burley guy.
I had him. I crossed him out.
Now, my top 3 are already on your list. It's just about rearranging the deck chairs. Number 3, I got Andy Pettitte. I agree with you. Amazing big game pitcher. Excellent in the playoffs. Legendary balk pickoff move. Exactly the kind of guy that you want, And he strikes me as the kind of guy that I believe him. Like you, I believe that he was rehabbing from an injury. I believe him, right? He didn't. It wasn't some nebulous apology, but I can't tell you what it was about, or I'm not going to apologize to those who were offended. Now, and Andy Pettitte went and faced the music, and I think you have to take that into account. Like a guy like Manny Ramirez is on the ballot, and I'm not putting him on because, frankly, I don't see any remorse from Manny Ramirez. Like he pissed hot, and we know he pissed hot, but no remorse from Manny Ramirez. Amazing player, excellent hitter.
It's Manny being Manny.
It's just Manny being Manny, and there's a reason why there's sanitizer out in the Green Monster now. So congratulations, thanks a lot, Manny. Number 2 is Andrew Jones. Amazing defensive center fielder. Yes, 254 is low, but there are plenty of guys with 250 batting averages in the Hall of Fame. He has 11 Gold Gloves. You have, at I think he was 18 years old when he hit that home run in the World Series, Game 1 of the World Series against the Yankees. Like that's impressive stuff right there. And 434 homers, almost 1,300 RBIs. Solid. It's a solid player. And, he got hurt by bouncing around and staying. He overstayed his welcome a little bit, kind of like Rafael Palmeiro, just kind of became a compiler. And ultimately, like it kind of tarnished what he was doing. But for a peak there, he was the best center fielder in baseball. Post Griffey, I would say he was the best center fielder in baseball. And number 1, Yeah, it's Carlos Beltran. It's absolutely Carlos Beltran. Switch hitter, 435 homers, 279 career batting average. Rookie of the year with the Royals. What more can you say about Carlos Beltran? Oh, right, the head of the Astros cheating scandal. But, we kid because we love Carlos. We kid because we love. I'm actually, no. Like, I still hold a grudge from when you took Adam Wainwright's curveball in 2006. Come on. Take the bat off the fucking shoulder, man.
Yeah.
Take your bat off the fucking shoulder. Jesus Christ.
But
what we kid.
About? Now I know. Yeah.
We kid. These guys will be immortalized in Cooperstown. Some this year, joining Jeff Kent. Some probably down the road. Some maybe not at all. We shall see. There are plenty of guys who will be one and done on the ballot, but these guys have a shot. And these are our Hall of Fame picks. What are yours? Hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com. Slide in our DMs on IG at Fade Route Podcast. Drop us a line on X at Fade Route DNZ and let us know who you're electing to Cooperstown this year. It's time for us to run the go route. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you for joining us on our live stream here. Check out all of the edited versions of our podcast. Fade Route drops tomorrow. Option drops on Saturday. And Sunday morning will be Order Up. We'll talk to you next week.